"This is the most polite bear I have ever seen." On the first day, the little bear arrived at his new home. He used a toothbrush to pick out his ears. When little bear took out the toothbrush, he tasted it curiously. This taste is really hard to swallow. He quickly picked up the mouthwash and drank it down. The taste in the bear's mouth was even more uncomfortable. He got into the toilet and drank a few mouthfuls of water, which made him feel better. In the next second, he found that his head was stuck by the toilet seat. Little bear struggled desperately, but unexpectedly blocked the toilet. The water in the toilet overflowed quickly, and the bear triggered the switch of the shower after finally turning off the shower. The bathroom was already flooded. Henry downstairs realized something was wrong and hurried upstairs to ask little bear what happened. Bear said that there was a little too much water in the bathroom. Henry opened the door. Bear slid all the way to the dining table. Bear was thrown into the attic. Looking at this strange place, he began to miss the distant aunt. The little bear is named Paddington, and his hometown is in the Peruvian jungle. Paddington was raised by uncle and aunt, and they make a lot of jams every year. This jam was taught to them by a geographer. Many years ago, a geographer was lucky enough to enter the jungle, where he met the uncle and aunt of Paddington, and introduced them to the things he brought from the city. In the end, when he left, he even gave the hat to the uncle, and the uncle kept wearing the geographer's hat until the jungle suffered a major earthquake, and the uncle died. Aunt passed the hat to Paddington. He sent Paddington to the ship and asked him to go to London to find someone to adopt, because when the geographer left, he told them that London would welcome them, encouraged by Aunt. Paddington took a ship and came to the London railway station. This place is bigger than he imagined, and the pigeons here are more edible than him. Paddington just threw a small piece of bread out and was surrounded by them. Seeing someone approaching from a distance, he hurriedly chased the pigeon away. They just came back from a trip. Lisa saw Paddington. Lisa took him home. Lisa wants to adopt Paddington, but Henry disagrees. He felt that the bear would destroy their home, so he allowed Paddington to stay here for one night. But no one expected that Paddington had messed up the bathroom, stairs, and dining room that night. Henry was so angry that he wanted to send him away at dawn. It was originally planned to be sent to the orphanage, but when they heard that Paddington knew a geographer, they planned to take him to look for it. But along the way, Paddington surprised them again. The thief stealing was seen by Paddington. The thief immediately dropped the wallet on the ground, which Paddington thought was his. Paddington hurried out to return the wallet. He ran after the thief and stepped on a skateboard on the way. The bear who can skateboard quickly attracted people's attention. The thief got into the car and fled. The thief thought he could get rid of Paddington, but Paddington grabbed a bus, which he also held onto a passenger's dog leash. The passenger thought he was going to steal the dog, and immediately hit him on the head a few times. Paddington not only did not let go, but also grabbed the umbrella. When a car approached in front, Paddington quickly opened the umbrella and flew up.
I got your wallet!
The thief lost his mind and crashed into another car. At the same time, with the help of external forces, Paddington rushed to the escaped thief. Many wallets fell from the thief when the police saw this scene. They immediately regarded Paddington as a brave hero. Paddington was admired by the people back in the store. I was also appreciated by the owner and buyers. Paddington became a celebrity in the city, and his story was printed in the newspapers. The two children in the family admired Paddington very much, and they all hoped that he could continue to stay at home. But Henry disagreed. Henry wanted to send Paddington away as soon as possible, in order for Paddington to be loved by Henry. The children gave him a bath and changed him. Paddington was like a child in his clothes, and Henry finally had a smile on his face. The children took the opportunity to beg. Henry let Paddington stay. Henry agreed to their request this time. In this way, Paddington became a part of the family, and everyone treated him very well. Paddington likes this kind of family atmosphere very much, but he still doesn't know that he has been targeted by a bad guy. This woman's name is Una, and her house is full of taxidermy, all of which are made from animals. After Una learned of Paddington's existence, Una also came to London by extorting confessions from passers-by who had seen Paddington. Una soon learned where Paddington lived. Immediately afterwards, Una approached the neighbor of the Paddington family, and Una successfully got the other party to cooperate with her by using a beauty trick. A few days later, Paddington's adoptive parents all went out. Seeing that only Paddington was left in the house, the neighbor quickly passed the news to Una.
Yes?
The furry menace is home alone. I repeat, the furry menace is home alone.
I'm on my way.
While the owner was not at home, Paddington secretly played with duct tape at home, but accidentally entangled himself. The tape got tighter and tighter, and when the phone rang at home, Paddington had difficulty walking over it.
Come on, Bear.
Just got a bit tied up with stationery.
Come on, little bear.
Fortunately, Paddington was not very clever, so he escaped unharmed. Una had no choice but to come down slowly. Una wants to charm Paddington. Una was furious, and Una came down wearing a gas mask to arrest Paddington, but Paddington had already hid in the refrigerator. Una rummaged around, not even noticing that a petal had landed on the trap. Without catching Paddington, Una had to leave. Paddington explained this to Henry and Lisa, but neither of them believed him. Henry and Lisa had a quarrel, and Henry wanted to send Paddington to an orphanage. Paddington overheard this and was very sad. He knew that he might not be welcome here, so he packed his bags and left overnight. Paddington came to the orphanage, hoping to get a place to live here, but the orphanage only accepted people, not bears. The security guard rudely kicked him out. Paddington had nowhere to go but looked for the geographer everywhere. Paddington finally arrived at the geographer's house, but the geographer has long passed away, and now there is only his daughter at home. And this daughter is Una, who is eyeing Paddington. It turned out that the geographer was also a member of the Herbarium Society before, but after he returned from Peru, he opened a zoo. Una felt that he was incompetent, so she vowed to make all the animals in the world into specimens. Now that Paddington is in Una's hands, Una will naturally not let him go easily. Una tricked Paddington into the car, and the neighbor saw it, and he just wanted to drive Paddington away, not trying to get him taxidermy. Neighbors quickly called Paddington's adoptive parents, and Henry learned that Paddington was in danger. The adoptive parents, a family of 4, plus a grandmother, were all dispatched. The grandmother is responsible for getting the security guard drunk, and the adoptive parents are responsible for cutting off the power. Taking advantage of the darkness, the adoptive father climbed out of the window and woke up the dizzy Paddington. Everyone made a concerted effort to escape, but when they came to the top of the building, they were stopped by Una. At the critical moment, Paddington came up with a good idea. He threw the bread in his hat towards Una, so that the pigeons would fly towards Una.
Nice try, bear.